जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Hare Krishna. Once again, a very wonderful chapter here. It is wonderful because this chapter reveals how wonderful is Lord Krishna. And this is revealed by a wonderful person, Krishna himself, in a very wonderful way. Let us try to explore those wonders through the pages of Bhagavad Gita. In the first part of this chapter, Krishna says about what is the important knowledge that I am going to give. Generally, anything you are offering anybody something very important, you tell about its significance, right? Let us say you are handing over some wonderful, precious jewelry of yours to your daughter or somebody. You tell how we got it, how precious it is, all that. So that then they understand, oh, this is so important, this is like an antique for us. Much more than that, then they preserve it. So Krishna is building up the whole importance of what he is going to tell. Let us say how Krishna says that. This chapter starts with Shri Bhagavan Uvacha. Before Krishna starting to say the importance of the knowledge, the author of the Bhagavad Gita, the compiler, not author is Krishna only. The compiler of Bhagavad Gita, who is that? Yeah, Vedavyas. He is telling Shri Bhagavan Uvacha. If you little carefully observe the Bhagavad Gita, when Dhritarashtra is speaking, how the shloka starts? Dhritarashtra Uvacha. When Arjuna is speaking, Arjuna Uvacha. Who is the other person who has spoken in Gita? There are 4 people who have spoken. Who are they? Sanjaya Uvacha. But when it comes to Krishna, why is not telling Krishna Uvacha? Because the Vedavyas wanted us to know who is the person who is speaking. He is not an ordinary person. He is Bhagavan himself. Bhagavan means who has 6 opulences to an unlimited extent. That person is speaking. So when you understand that, okay, it's not an ordinary person. Okay, let us see. Just like you are going to, let us say, college or school. And let us say today we have a very special guest lecturer coming in. He's a Nobel laureate, so and so and so. Oh, he's a Nobel laureate. Then you come to the edge of your seat to hear very, very attentively. Similarly now, Krishna, the one who is the supplier of all knowledge to everybody. Matta smritir jnanam apohanam cha, from me. Smriti, remembrance, forgetfulness, jnana, knowledge comes from me, Krishna is telling. So he is the supplier of knowledge to all the Nobel laureates. So how many Nobel Prize Krishna should get then? So that person is speaking. So what is Krishna telling here? Krishna says, I am going to tell something very secret. Idam tu te guhyatamam pravakshami anasuyave. Krishna is telling, I am going to tell a secret. Imagine, first of all, Lord Krishna himself is speaking is such a big important thing. Over and above that, Krishna is telling, I am going to tell some secret for you. Guhyatama. And he is also telling, this knowledge I am telling to you because what is the eligibility that you have got? I have selected you, Arjuna, to tell this knowledge. Anasuyave, because you are not envious of me, I am telling this knowledge. And what is the benefit of getting this knowledge? Krishna says you become relieved from all miseries. That is, mokshashe ashubhat. Anybody wants ashubha in life? No, we want moksha from ashubha, right? By knowing this knowledge, we all can, from today onwards, if you stick to these instructions or understand this knowledge, we can become free from all the ashubhas. If you see here, once again Prabhupada in the purport stresses more about Shravana, hearing. Hearing is the process by which we can get enlightened. One of the most important thing, even Srimad Bhagavatam also says, one should constantly hear about the Lord in the association of the devotees. When you hear from the authorized devotees, you become enlightened. Here also Krishna is making Arjuna hear about this knowledge because Prabhupada says he wanted to engage Arjuna in higher and higher knowledge, higher consciousness. Prabhupada exactly uses the word Lord Krishna, in order to encourage Arjuna to the higher and higher elevation in his potent service, describes in this 9th chapter matters more confidential than he has already disclosed. So he wanted Arjuna to become more and more potent in his devotional service. And how that potency comes? By hearing. Of course, Prabhupada summarizes saying that in the first chapter of Bhagavad Gita, it is more or less an introduction to the whole Bhagavad Gita. But in the second and third chapter, Krishna starts telling about something spiritual. You are not this body, you are beyond this body. Dehi nosmin yata dehe kaumaram yavanam jara. Like that, then you have to do your duty and all those things. He will speak basics. But when it came to 7th chapter and 8th chapter, Krishna exclusively told about devotional service. But since he has already told about devotional service in the previous chapters, once again, why he has to tell here? Here Krishna is telling about pure devotional service, how we can offer. That is why this is, Krishna says it's Guhyatama. Guhyataram and Guhyatama. They are superlative degree. Guhyatama means high, higher and highest we say, no? Like that Tama means it's highest than anything else. And that knowledge Krishna is giving here. And Prabhupada says the knowledge which I am going to give, it is actually referring to not a book knowledge, some information I'll give you, go and learn. No. Krishna is telling this knowledge is actually referring to Navavidha Bhakti which Prahlad Maharaj has told. Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu Smaranam Pada Sevanam Archanam Vandanam Dasyam Sakhyam Atma Nivedanam. So this is actual knowledge, Prabhupada says. How this is actual knowledge? Because when you follow the process of Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, all this, our heart actually becomes cleansed. When our heart becomes cleansed, the Lord within our heart will guide us what to do. That is why it is a supreme knowledge. Because the knowledge to do devotional service or our regular activities comes from Krishna himself. And Prabhupada also mentions about, he cautions us about the word anasuyave. Somebody who is envious of Krishna cannot understand the knowledge of Krishna. Unfortunately, there are many people who write the commentary on Bhagavad Gita itself, but actually they don't know who is Krishna. In fact, many of them are envious of Krishna. See how Krishna is so egoistic for everything. He is telling, I. It's going to come further. Krishna tells, who am I? In 7th chapter, we learned more like that. So-called commenters on the Bhagavad Gita, they misinterpret the Bhagavad Gita. So hearing the Bhagavad Gita from such people, Prabhupada says, is useless. So first we are trying to understand in the first 3 shlokas about Krishna telling the quality of knowledge, the importance of knowledge, what he is going to give. In the second shloka, Krishna even more highlights about it. He says, Raja Vidya, Raja Guhyam, Pavitram Midamuttamam, Pratyakshaavagamam Dharmyam, Susakum Karthum Avyayam. So here Krishna, if you can little observe the quality words Krishna is telling, in many shlokas you can observe. Quality shloka means Krishna would have told Vidyam. Why is telling Raja Vidya? He is adding quality. Raja means king, something highest. The kingdom, king is the highest, no? Like that. Raja Vidya, Raja Guhyam. No, kings, they have the topmost secret with them. So like that, Raja Guhya I am going to tell you. Pavitram, this knowledge, what I am telling is purest of all the knowledge. Pavitram idam uttamam. It is the highest, transcendental. So in this way, Krishna is using all of them are quality words. And he is also telling, what is this Rajavedya is referring to? Why is telling it's king of all the knowledge? Because among all the knowledge, Vedic knowledge is the highest. But even among the Vedic knowledge, there are many people who have given knowledge to us. Starting from, Prabhupada mentions Gautama, Kannada, and Kapila, Yagnavalkya, and Vaishwanara, Shandilya. They are one of the authorities developed different branches of knowledge. For example, Kapila, he told about Sankhya knowledge. Like that, different knowledge they have developed. Even Vedavyas is also there among them. So Vedavyas gave the Vedas, compiled the Vedas, and finally he wrote Srimad Bhagavatam. He wrote Mahabharata as well, Srimad Bhagavatam. So Krishna is telling the essence of all that knowledge is being given in these pages. He is telling Raja Vidya, Raja Guhyam, the topmost secret. Why this is the topmost secret? Because although this Bhagavad Gita is available everywhere, but there is no single university or school in the world where we are being taught about I am not this body, I am spirit soul, who is Krishna. All this is not at all being taught. Correct? So that is why it is the rarest of all the knowledge. But you have many departments of knowledge for so many things, medicine and for commerce, for science, engineering, space. Nowadays, though, you can see a lot of super specialities now. I recently got, of course, I had heard it, that there are specialists for heart for children operating, surgeons for the children. They have some specific names also coming up nowadays. So much super speciality. They go so much detail. For all you have knowledge. But when it comes to Atma, there is no knowledge. Actually, this body is sustained by Atma. And Atma which is sustaining this body, that Atma knowledge we are not teaching. But this body which is temporary, one day we have to leave and go, that so much knowledge we have. So that is why it is Guhyam. And Krishna says, it's the purest of all the knowledge. This is purest because when we hear or gain this knowledge, basically in this world we are all suffering because of different sins we are doing. Shastras explain about there are sin in the seed form. Whenever any papa we do, it's in the seed form. Just like a seed sprouts, it becomes a tree and then gives the fruit. Similarly, sin which is in the seed form eventually becomes like a tree and gives the fruit of suffering or miseries in your life. So, but when we take up to this knowledge, I am keeping this knowledge bit secret. Let us see what it is Krishna is telling. So, similarly, when we take up to the knowledge what Krishna is telling in these chapters, we become sinless. And that's how we become purified ourselves. That's why Krishna says, Pavitram idam uttamam. It is uttama knowledge because this is the highest. This is not touching our material platform. It is touching beyond matter, which is a spirit in nature. That is, it is uttama. Tama means material. Uttama means something which is beyond material. So in this way, Krishna is using everywhere the quality words. And then this knowledge, susukum kartum aveyam, this knowledge if you practice in your life, you can happily perform this. Hope you would have already got the clue about what Krishna is telling. Susukum kartum aveyam, this knowledge is not about gaining the knowledge or having some, by some slokas. It is about applying in our life, Krishna is telling. That is why he is telling, susukum kartum aveyam. And then in the third sloka, Krishna is telling about somebody who is faithful to this knowledge. What is that knowledge? He reveals devotional service to Krishna. When Rupa Goswami writing in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu mentions that, he says there are Gyanis who want to achieve different kinds of mokshas. Salokya, Samipya, he mentions 5 kinds of moksha, salokya, samipya, sayujya, srashti, like that and all. And then he says the devotees of the Lord are not interested in any kind of this moksha also. They are actually interested in engaging in the devotional service of the Lord. And when engaged in the devotional service of the Lord, they only pray to the Lord that they let me engage always in His devotional service only. The means and end both are same for the devotees. So that devotional service is the one that is being taught by Krishna in these pages. And that is what actually Krishna is telling. If at all you want to practice devotional service, you have to be faithful. Without faith, we cannot achieve anything in this life. Like once upon a time, Narada Muni he's called a transcendental spaceman. Always by his will he can travel anywhere. When he was passing by in this way, he sees one Brahmana, one very learned Pandit. And the Pandit asks him, where are you going? Narada Muni says, I'm going to see Lord Narayana in Vaikuntha. So when you see Narayana, please let me know what he was doing. And also ask him, after this life, I'm going back to Moksha, right? I'm going back to Vaikuntha, right? Then Narada Muni says, okay, I'll meet Narayana, ask him and let you know. And then when he goes further, he comes across a cobbler sitting under a tree. And this cobbler also had a similar question, but in a very humble way. He asks, is there any chance of me getting moksha, either in this life or in future? Any hope for me? Narada Muni once again makes a note. I will inform once I come back. So after meeting Lord Vishnu, serving the Lord in a very nice way and praising him in choicest of the choice words, while coming back, Narada Muni asked Narayana that, my dear Lord, I met these two kind of people and they have a very strange question when they are going to come back to you. Lord Narayana says, this Pandita, very learned person, he may have to wait for many lives to come to me. But this cobbler will come immediately after this life. Then Narada was very wonderstruck. How is this possible? He has so much knowledge. Still he has to wait for so many lives. What is the reason? Narayana says, you go, you tell them this one, you will get the answer for your question. What is that? You know what Narayana was doing in Vaikuntha? He was passing an elephant through the eye of a needle. So tell them, whoever have the faith, they will come to me. So he goes and meets this Pandita and says to him, you know what Lord Narayana was doing? He was passing an elephant through the eye of a needle. The Brahmana, Lord, how is that possible? To pass a thread only, we will struggle so much. How do you say you are joking? No, I don't believe this. So Narada Muni says, you may have to wait for some time. But when he comes to cobbler, and when he says him the same thing, the cobbler readily agrees. Yeah, my dear Lord, he can do anything. Narada Muni was a little stuck. How do you believe this? Then cobbler says, see where I am sitting. I am sitting below such a big banyan tree. If my Lord can bring about such a big banyan tree out of a small seed, banyan tree is very small. What wonder is there for him to pass an elephant through a elephant? He can do everything. So this faith, what is Krishna talking about? If we have faith in the words of Lord Krishna that my dear Lord is omnipotent, He is omniscient, He can do anything, then that person becomes actually eligible to gain this knowledge. And what is that knowledge? Is being explained from Shloka 4 till Shloka 10. To understand these verses from 4 to 10, you need to understand some other things. I'm going to explain. How the Lord has created this whole world. A glimpse was already given by Lord Krishna in the 7th chapter. But here he is going to give it much more elaborately and scientifically. Before the creation of this world, this creation we learnt in the 7th chapter is made up of 8 elements. Which are those? It is made up of Sukshma Sharira and Jada Sharira. What is Sukshma? Subtle. What is Jada? Gross. What are those gross elements? 5 elements are there. Yeah, Panchabhutas, which are the earth, water, fire, air, ether. And what is the Sukshma Sharira? Manasu, Buddhi, Ahankara. Mind, intelligence and ego. Everything that you see in this world are made up of these 8 elements. You see some part of this world is earth, water is there, and air is there, space is there, like that. So, before the creation, they organized certain form, they were there in their raw material form. And then Mahavishnu supplies this, and then he, out of this raw material, creates different universes. Understand this, you require faith. So the different universes are created by the Mahavishnu, and in each one of these universe, Garbhodakashayi Vishnu enters. And after entering of the Garbhodakashayi Vishnu, who maintains the whole universe, then into each atom, Kshiradakashayi Vishnu enters, regulating at the micro level. So the Lord is regulating the whole creation at the macro level and at the micro level as well. So this is all about Jada Sharira, the creation matter. And apart from that, then Krishna also says there is my higher energy. Apart from telling the gross elements, including the earth, water, fire, ether, manasu, buddhi, ankara, which are all once again gross, then higher than this Krishna says is the living entities. Krishna impregnates the living entities in this world, just like in the womb of a mother, the father gives the seed. Similarly, Krishna impregnates in this nature, which is actually Mother Prakriti we call. Krishna, who is a Purusha, impregnates all the living entities just by his glance. And when by his glance all the living entities are impregnated in this material world, each living entities, according to their Kala, Guna and Kala and Karma, the Prakriti gives them different kind of bodies. There are 84 million species of life. According to their karma, different body is given to them. Somebody's karma may be in good, so they may get a Devata's body. Somebody's karma may be very bad, he may get a body of an animal. So like that, different species get birth in different according to their karma. So then somebody may say, so Lord, when he is impregnating, so he is the cause for my suffering, or he is the cause for my low birth or animal birth or anything? No, Prabhupada says, just like when rain comes, it mercifully showers on everywhere, correct? And probably somebody would have put a mango seed. If you put a mango seed, you get a mango tree and a mango fruit. Somebody has put a neem seed, you will get the bitter fruit, correct, which is bitter. Similarly, all the Lord is impregnating everyone in this material world. According to their karma, they are going to reap the fruit of their actions. So that the Lord is actually neutral. So this is how the Lord is creating this whole creation. Of course, there are much more intricacies how Brahma becomes a secondary creator. We call Brahma as a Srishtikarta, right? But Swamiji, you are explaining only Krishna as Srishtikarta here. How is that? Actually, primary Srishtikarta is Lord Vishnu, which at the macro level does everything. And then at the micro level, the creation happens. You should read Srimad Bhagavatam, very nicely explains that how Brahma creates by his mind certain Rudras, and how by different bodies of Brahma, different living entities take birth. And then how he further continues the progeny by ordering the Prajapatis. Prajapatis, they are meant to increase the population. Then Kashyapa Muni, through his wives, he had many wives. Through each one of them, he creates different species of life. Even Daksha was also given to increase the progeny. So like that, very beautifully it explains. So I'm not going into all those details. We are taking the macro picture. So the point here is, we can see how Krishna has created this whole world. The whole creation is come about in this way. And that is what Krishna is going to tell now. In the shloka 4 to 10, having understood this macro picture, other things, let us get into the details. Krishna says, by me in my, this is the fourth shloka, by me in my unmanifested form, this entire universe is pervaded. All beings are in me, but I am not in them. So what Krishna actually telling here is, Atah Shri Krishna Namadi na bhavet grahyam indriyaihi sevon mukehi jihvado swayameva spuratyadaha. We cannot perceive the Supreme Lord, your own Atma we cannot see, correct? By our blunt senses. But sevon mukehi jihvado, when we start engaging in the devotional service of Krishna, starting from Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, swayameva spuratyadaha, that knowledge will be revealed to us in our heart. So, Krishna, when he is telling that I am pervading in this entire universe, but I am not there in them, means what Krishna is actually telling is, just like last time also I gave this example. Let us say there is a king. King is the one who is the under whose rule the whole kingdom is run, right? If you see the whole kingdom, under him there are so many people who are running everything. But Krishna, it's not that the king is going and he is telling you do like this, he is doing like this. No. King's energies are there which is maintaining the whole thing. There are people to assist him and they are managing. Similarly, Krishna in his unmanifest form, he is pervaded everywhere through his energy. Parasha Shaktir Vivadhaiva Shruyate. The Krishna's Shakti are various in kinds and each Shakti plays a particular role in the maintenance of this world. So that is what Krishna says here. And next shloka Krishna says, and yet everything that is created does not rest in me. Krishna says, behold my mystic opulence. Krishna is telling here, although I am the maintainer of all the living entities, although I am everywhere, still myself is the very source of creation. So Krishna says, although I am the creator, yet whatever I created doesn't rest on me. The meaning is, generally, you would have seen in the Western world, in the very primitive state, they believed that this earth is floating because there is one person who is lifting this atlas. Now we have seen atlas cycle also on that logo or map is there, where he is lifting. But he is lifting with lot of efforts. So we should not think that when Lord is a creator and maintainer of the whole world, he is also putting so much effort to maintain this. It is resting on him, means he is not that he is getting into the details of everything to manage this world. No. Krishna has made a system in such a way that without his personal involvement, all his energies, for example, we are in this particular universe, and for Bhuloka where we are staying, time to time there are people who supply the rain. Who is that? There is a Varuna Deva, who is a rain, god of rain. So he is doing that under the guidance of Lord Krishna, under his superintendent is he doing. Sun is giving sun and light, once again under the direction of Krishna. Even the sea, what we are seeing, it is not crossing 1 inch beyond that. It's because of the order of Lord Krishna. So in this way, Krishna's energies are maintaining the whole universe under the guidance of Krishna. And Krishna, to make it more understand for us mercifully, gives one more example. Just like this wind blows, right? How much ever wind may blow, how much ever it goes everywhere, it is within the purview of the space, right? Similarly, all those activities that are happening in this world, that are happening under the guidance of Lord Krishna. And then Krishna gives little more detail about creation. So now we have understood that Mahavishnu created the Mahatattva and entered there and created the universe. And then who enters the universe? Garbhodakashaya Vishnu. And then each and every atom Kshirodakashaya Vishnu enters, and that's how this whole creation is going on. And now secondary creation is done by Brahma. Brahma, the person who is most fortunate living entity in that universe, most pious, who has done highest punya, he gets the post of Brahma. So there are many, many Brahmas. It's not that we have only one Brahma. In fact, Krishna is so great to understand this. Once Brahma had gone to Dwaraka to see Lord Krishna. And when he wanted to see Lord Krishna, he is entering his palace, Dwarapalaka stops him. Wait. Imagine Brahma, he is being stopped by a doorkeeper. Then Lord Krishna is little busy. He has told not to allow anybody without his permission. Then please go and tell Krishna that Brahma has come. So this doorkeeper goes and tells Krishna, my dear Lord, Brahma has come. So he is asking the permission to meet you. Krishna says, which Brahma? I don't know. Go and ask which Brahma is. So he comes and asks. Krishna is asking which Brahma you are. Already is being stopped by the doorkeeper. top of it is asking which Brahma. His ego is even more hurt. You please go and tell Krishna, Chaturmukha Brahma has come. So then the doorkeeper comes, Chaturmukha Brahma has come. Okay, send him after 5 minutes. So after 5 minutes, Brahma comes, he discusses all the universal matter, everything. But in back of his mind, still this only is going on. Why Chaturmukha Brahma? Is there any other more Brahmas there in this world? Which Brahma is asking? So with very humble mood, with hesitation, you will ask Krishna, my dear Lord, you asked, which Brahma? Does it mean many other Brahmas are there? Krishna starts laughing. And by his will, another Brahma comes with 10 head, bows down to Krishna. Then another Brahma comes with 100 head, bows down to Krishna. Another Brahma with 1000 head will come and he'll bow down to Krishna. By seeing this, our Brahma gets bewildered because I have only 4, I am the smallest one. I have only 4 heads. Actually, ours is the smallest Brahmanda and our Brahma is the smallest among all the Brahmas. So by seeing this, Brahma gets totally bewildered. He'll pay obeisance and he'll go away. So we can understand how great is this Lord Krishna. So, in the secondary creation, what happens is, Lord Vishnu, when he is lying down and he creates the universe, and in those universes, in turn, Brahma does the secondary creation of creating different species through the help of the nature, Prakriti. Now and then Pralaya also happens, the winding up. The time span is, can anybody guess how much is 1 day of Brahma? It is mentioned in the books of Bhagavad Gita. 1 day of Brahma is 4,300 million years, 430 crore years. That is 12 hours. Another 12 hours is night is once again 430 crore years. That is his 860 crore years is his one full day. And 30 such cycles are his 1 month. Similarly, 365 such this thing is his 1 year. Like that, Brahma lives for 100 years. Even Brahma has to end his life. When Brahma ends his life, the whole pralaya will happen. All the living entities get submerged in the Kshira Sagar or in the body of the Supreme Lord. And once again, when the creation happens, once again the Mahatattva will come. Same thing will continue. So this is all the secret about the creation. So that is what Krishna explains. O son of Kuti, at the end of millennium means at the end of day of Brahma, every material manifestation enters my nature, and the beginning of another millennium, by my potency again it creates. So creation and annihilation continuously keeps happening in this cycle. Then Krishna claims in the 8th chapter, Prakritim swam avashtabhya vishrujami punah punah. The whole cosmic order is under me. By my will it is manifested again and again, and by my will it is annihilated and again and again. Can you imagine? Imagine a person, by his will he will create one business, by his will he will wind it up. By his will he will do something and he will wind it up. Krishna is playing around with the whole creation. By his will he will create the universe, by his will he will annihilate them. How great this Krishna should be. And it is not only one universe that is there. In fact, one of the great devotees of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Vasudev Ghosh, he says to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, my dear Lord, you have taken the avatar. Please give moksha to everybody in the universe. Chaitanya, because I can't see their suffering. If you want their karma to be transferred, please transfer it to me. I will take all their sins and everything, but give moksha to them. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, of course, pure devotee like you are so potent that you can take the karma of everybody in the universe, yet remain aloof. But then, this universe is just a small mustard seed in the bag of mustard seed. So what will you do for that? It means to say there are millions and millions of universes, and Krishna is the creator for each one of them. In fact, Krishna says in the 10th shloka, 9th shloka, let us see. Krishna says that all this work cannot bind me. I am ever detached, seated as the neutral. Although Krishna has created all this universe, Then he has sent different living entities in different species. All this is done. Generally, any work is done, there is a reaction to that. For every karma, there is a reaction that generates. Karma bandhana will happen to us. You do punya karma, you will get some enjoyment. You do papa karma, you get some miseries. So now Krishna is also doing his work. So will he also get entangled in the reactions of this work? Krishna says, no. Nachamam tani karmani nibadnati dhananjaya. No karma can bind me. Just like if you see in the court, high court or any district court, there is a judge. So for somebody who has done crime or wrong thing, he is being punished. And somebody sometimes he will reward also for certain things. Correct? Somebody puts a complaint or anything, he will be rewarded some money. Although judge is punishing somebody or although rewarding somebody, he is neutral, he is unaffected by the results of those activities, right? He doesn't become bound by the punishment or reward, whatever it is, aloof from all those. Similarly, Lord Krishna, like a judge of the whole creation, is aloof from all these things he is telling. And finally Krishna says, Mayadhyakshena suyate sacharacharam hetunanena kaunteya jagadviparivartate. This material nature is working under my direction, O son of Kunti, and it is producing all moving and non-moving beings. By its rule, this manifestation is created and annihilated again and again. You go to any museum, art museum or anything, you see a good piece of painting, very nice, you get attracted. What is the first question that comes to your mind? Who is the artist, right? If I show Mona Lisa and ask, who has painted this? What you will say? Leonardo da Vinci. That many wonderful paintings are there. What is that? In India also is there no Rama Varma. What is his name? Ravi Verma is a good painter, good artist. Wonderful paintings are there. You see, you appreciate the artist. Similarly, if you see in the nature also, you have a wonderful piece of art. You see some wonderful birds in Nat Geo and all. They have wonderful feathers, nice colored beaks. You see the other day I had gone to somebody's house. He is passionate about these butterflies. And he showed some of the butterflies. He is going to some South African countries he had gone. He had gone to some Indonesia, some big national park there. So he's showing all those nice photos he had taken. And I was observing, wonderful Krishna has done this creation. One butterfly I saw, it has two feathers and it is symmetric. Whatever there on one side of the feather, same thing like a Xerox copy, is there on the other side also. So wonderfully done. Even if you see this whole creation, so orderliness, even the solar system, if you see, so much orderliness is there, right? It's not that earthly planet went and had an accident with the Mars today, so many people died. No, everywhere there is an orderliness. Whenever you see there is an orderliness, what you should conclude? There has to be somebody who is controlling or managing it. In fact, great scientists and philosophers, they believed in this. Like Newton, once upon a time, Newton was in his lab very busy experimenting on certain things. One of his scientist friend comes and to him, Newton starts explaining, see, wonderful creation the Lord has done, see, so nice it is. Then his friend says, come on, you being a scientific man should not have this kind of superstition belief that there's some God or anything. Where is the evidence for all this? So then Newton tried to explain, but he will not agree. Then Newton says, you come on this certain day, I'll prove that God is there. There's a controller behind the creation. And one fine day he calls, and in a dark room he had made one experiment setup, wherein it's like a solar model, a luminous object in the center, and all other planets are revolving around that. Very beautifully done. And he shows his scientist friend. And in the dark room he sees the whole thing and he comes back and he appreciates that, so wonderfully done. I can see that earth is having dark and luminous day, night happening and all of them revolving in their orbit so wonderfully. Who has done this? He will ask. Newton says, yesterday night I was going, it was all lying here. It has come up on its own. They say, come on, yeah, don't joke, tell me who has done. Somebody would have done so nicely, it is all organized. He said, Newton, no, yesterday everything was fine and it has become like this. Then once again when he asks, no, somebody has to be there behind, then Newton says, Remember, for such a small solar model, you're telling somebody has to be there behind. Don't you see that real solar model is going on? Don't you think there has to be some controller behind that? So in this way, when you see little closely this creation, there has to be a controller behind. And then who is that controller when you come to? Krishna is revealing this, that I am that person. You can never miss Krishna in any walk of your life. Krishna's involvement in your life is so integrated in your life that you cannot separate him at all. That is why Krishna is telling, we will chant this shloka. It's a very nice shloka to understand. 10th shloka. Mayadhyakshena prakriti Mayadhyakshena prakritihi Suyate sacharacharam Suyate sacharacharam Hetunanena kaunteya Hetunanena kaunteya Jagad viparivartate Jagad viparivartate Mayadhyakshena prakriti Suyate sacharacharam Hetunanena kaunteya Jagad viparivartate. So Krishna says, this material nature is working under my direction, O son of Kunti, and it is producing all moving and unmoving beings. By its rule, this manifestation is created and annihilated again and again. Here, by its rule, it is creating and annihilating is, that rule is set once again by Krishna himself. That by the 100 years of Brahma is over, annihilation happens. And once again, creation happens like this. And after having said this, first Krishna told about the important knowledge he is going to give, and then he told about what is that knowledge, that wonderful, the Rajavidya, Rajaguhyam, Pavitram, Midamuttamam, Pratyakshagamam, Dharmyam, Susukum, Kartum, Avyam, that knowledge. Having said that, the important knowledge Krishna is telling is, he is the creator of the whole universe, under his direction this material world is running. This is the important knowledge Krishna is giving. But then Krishna in the next shloka he says, there are some people who doesn't believe this. They misunderstand me. Who are those people? He will tell. He says, Avajananti ma muda manushim tanumashita param bhavam majananto mama bhuta maheshwaram. Fools deride me when I descend in the human form. They do not know my transcendental nature and my supreme dominion over all that be. So, there are many people who think that Krishna is an ordinary person like us only. Maybe he's little more, having got some tapasya, he would have got some mystic powers. Can you give some examples in the history nowadays? So there is no short of such people commenting. In the history, some people who thought Krishna is ordinary man. Yes, Kansa, he thought Krishna is an ordinary man. Maybe he has come to kill me. But he is not God. Anybody else? Shishupala also thought Krishna is an ordinary person. In fact, when the fire sacrifice was organized to do this Rajasuya Yagna, then the question came, who is going to be the who is going to get the Agra Puja? Who is somebody who is the topmost person in the assembly, he will get the first or Agra Puja. So different people suggested different names. There were great rishis, all the Sapta rishis have come. Vishwamitra is there, Asita, Devala, all they have come. Great devatas like Chandra, Indra, Surya, all of them are there. Brahma himself is there. And many other great kings have come. Amongst all of them, Yudhishthira goes and gives the Agra Puja to Lord Krishna. But Shishupala, who is envious of Krishna, see once again Anasuya way, he had become envious of Krishna, so he derided Krishna in many ways. Then he met his bad fate, you know what and all happened. So like that, there are many people who derided Krishna. Even Kansa and then Jarasandha, he also derided Lord Krishna in many ways. So there is no dearth of people who derided Lord Krishna, right? Because they thought him as an ordinary person. Even Duryodhana thought Krishna as an ordinary person. In Krishna Sandhana, when Krishna had gone, in that Sandhana, when Krishna, even although he proved by showing his Vishwarupa, Duryodhana thought he's a magician doing some magic. Although he's showing Vishwarupa, everybody couldn't see that form. Only very few people could behold that great effulgent form of the Lord. Who could see? Bhishmadev could see, Vidura could see, only a handful of people could see. So, because to see Krishna we require a qualification. As I told, Ataha Sri Krishna Namadi na bhavet grahyam indriyahi. Grahyams to grasp or to understand or perceive. Indriya by the senses. Na bhavet grahyam. You cannot observe them. Which one? Krishna Namadi, Krishna's form or his name. Then how to understand Krishna? Sevon Mikehi Jivhada, by doing service to Krishna, Swayameva Spuratyada, automatically this knowledge is aroused in our heart. Prabhupada says, in order to see Krishna, Prema Jana Churita Bhakti Vilochanena, we have to, just like women they apply mascara to our eyes, we should apply Prema Anjana. Anjana means an ointment of love to our eyes. Then only we will be able to see Lord Krishna. Otherwise, we will not be able to see Krishna. Just like the mother, let us say she has lot of love towards the child. So much affection she has. Let us say now holidays have come, the child has gone to grandma's house, but mother has to stay back because husband is going to the office and all, she has to cook. But whenever the mother sees the child's toys, what will the mother, it will remind her of? The child. Whenever she sees the clothes of the child or anything belonging to the child the mother sees, she will always remember her child, right? Because she loves her child. Similarly, somebody has got love towards Krishna, anything and everything he sees in this world, he will only remember Krishna. Why? Because devotee knows everything belongs to Krishna. Already Krishna has claimed creation is coming about by me, Prabhashmi Shasi Surayaho, Rasam Apsukonte. Why Krishna is telling all this? Because by understanding this, it should remind us of Krishna. That is how we actually, with this eyes of love, when we start hearing about Krishna, understanding Krishna, then we will be able to see Krishna everywhere. Otherwise, these senses are very limited. Just like one scientist, once he made one experiment to show that everybody have their own limited intelligence and understanding. He experimented on chimpanzees. What he did was, he put a few chimpanzees in one big cage, and after putting them in the cage, many chimpanzees, he didn't feed them. Imagine, first of all, they are chimpanzees, and on top of that, didn't feed them, how restless they will be. But then he made one mechanism inside, wherein he made one gear. If you pull the gear, one bread piece will fall inside. And this chimpanzee jumping here and there, by mistake they pulled the gear. When the gear was pulled, one bread piece fell down. And finally, eventually the chimpanzees found out the cause for their getting the bread is what? Pulling the gauge. But the scientists brought those chimpanzees outside, started giving them the knowledge. See, actually gear is not the cause. I have set up this mechanism. Let us study this mechanism. This is what I have done. I am putting the bread like this. When he's trying to put the bread, they are eating the bread and they are eating. They are not understanding what he's trying to explain. That means they have certain limited intelligence within which they can understand only limited thing of understanding the cause only till pulling the gear leads to getting the bread. But what is the cause for that getting the bread? Who has done the setup and all? Their intelligence cannot understand. Similarly, human beings also can understand reasoning up to a certain level. Who is the cause for me? My parents. What is the cause for them? Their parents. Their parents you can understand. But who is the cause for all the causes? For whom there is no other cause? Our intelligence doesn't permit to perceive it. But Krishna is so merciful. He is telling, I am the cause for everything. Ishvara, Parama, Krishna, Sachidananda Vigraha, Anadiradir Govinda, Sarva Karanaka. I am the cause of all the causes, Krishna is telling. So such an important knowledge Krishna is giving here to us. But still there are people who doesn't have faith. They deride Krishna as an ordinary human being. And Prabhupada also in the Krishna in the second 12th sloka little more explains about the nature of such people. He says, Moghasho, Moga Karmano, Moga Gnana, Vichetasaha, Rakshasim Asurim Chaiva, Prakritim Mohinim Chitaha. That means to say, those who are thus bewildered or attached by demonic and atheistic views, in that deluded condition, their hopes for liberation, fruitive activities, culture of knowledge, all are defeated. So there may be some people claiming to be knowledgeable. Like there are people who are jnanis, all of them, such people may be their yogis. But if they don't have a heart in heart, the faith that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, if they don't have the faith, for them the devotion towards Lord Krishna, in the faith in the words of Lord Krishna will never arise. That is why we should be always careful about people whom we associate with. There may be many people who may be claiming we are all spiritualists. They may be going to temple or doing so many kind of spiritual, so-called spiritual things. But heart in heart, if they don't have this faith that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, we are having a wrong association. And with wrong association, we will also lose the great opportunity of seeing Krishna everywhere. That sense of love towards Krishna, through which we can perceive Krishna everywhere, that knowledge will be lost. And then 13th sloka and 14th sloka, Krishna says about the devotees who can understand me very nicely. So if we try to get these symptoms in us also, try to get these qualities, we will also become, we can also see Krishna everywhere and understand Krishna. Krishna says, Mahatmanastu maam partha daivim prakriti maashitaha bhajanti ananya manaso gnatva bhutadim avyayam. So Krishna is telling, O Pritha, those who are not deluded, the great souls are under the protection of divine nature. They are fully engaged in devotional service because they know me as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, original and inexhaustible. Means they have the faith that Krishna is the cause of all the causes. They know Krishna is not an ordinary being. He doesn't have a body which is perishable like us. So these people have complete faith in these words of Lord Krishna. And Krishna is terming them as Mahatmas. According to Krishna or Bhagavad Gita, a freedom fighter or such people, they are not Mahatmas. Who is Mahatma according to Bhagavad Gita? Somebody who is engaged in the devotional service of Lord Krishna. Somebody who accepts Krishna as the causes of all causes, the original personality who is inexhaustible. According to Bhagavad Gita, he is Mahatma, not an ordinary person. So such Mahatmas are actually under Daivi Prakriti. There are two kinds of Prakriti. One is Maya Prakriti, another is Daivi Prakriti. Maya Prakriti means the Prakriti wherein I am to understand in a broad way, we come under the Maya Prakriti when I think I want to enjoy independent of Krishna. We are put in a circumstance where I will be thinking about only my enjoyment. And Daivi Prakriti means Krishna's Yoga Maya, we heard last time, like a director. She plays the role of arranging the happiness for Krishna, all that we heard. So similarly, it is Yoga Maya. If you are a devotee of Lord Krishna, surrender to him, we come under the Daivi Prakriti, wherein we work under the direction of Krishna, under his devotees. So somebody who is under Daivi Prakriti, they are called Mahatmas, according to Lord Krishna here. So Prabhupada says here, the Mahatmas does not divert his attention to anything outside Krishna, because he knows perfectly well that Krishna is the original Supreme Person, the cause of all the causes. There is no doubt about it. The Mahatma is a pure devotee. So after saying this, Krishna also says one more shloka here. Once again, in the 14th shloka, Krishna says one more quality of a Mahatma. What is that? Satatam kirtayanto mam yatantascha drudavratah namasyantascha mam bhaktya nitya yukta upasate. What are his qualities? Once again, you can see Krishna using the quality words here. Every line uses quality word. Satatam kirtayanto mam. He's always, my devotees are always glorifying me. Krishna told kirtayanto mam. He's telling satatam quality. Always they are glorifying me. Yatantascha drudavratah. They are engaged in my devotional service with drudavrata. Once again quality word. With determination. Namasyantascha mam bhaktya. You would have told namasyantascha enough, no? Mam bhaktya. With bhakti, with devotion, with love, do they offer my obeisance, their obeisance to me. Nitya yukta upasate. You would have told yukta upasate. They would have engaged in my worship. They would have told nitya. Once again, quality word here. Always they are engaged. Nitya in my worship. So Krishna is telling. So somebody who is always engaged in kirtan of Lord Krishna, satatam kirtayanto mam, with determination. Determination comes when you have full faith. Namasyanta mam bhaktya. When we offer our obeisance, that is why somebody comes to temple, they pay obeisance to Lord Krishna. Not an ordinary person. He is following the instruction of Krishna. He will be blessed immensely. He may not know who is Krishna. He may not have any knowledge, that background knowledge, what we learnt. He is the creator. Under his direction, everything is going on. Even Brahma is working under. They may not know anything. But simply still they are paying their obeisance. They get so much of benefit that Krishna will notice them. And then they do a sukriti. Sukriti means it will pave the way for doing more and more service to Krishna. So that is why a devotee of Lord Krishna, he is a Mahatma who will not only chant for oneself, not only pay obeisance for oneself, he will also try to spread this to many, many more people. That is also one of the quality of a Lord Krishna. So whenever you bring somebody with you, don't think that he just came and he went, oh, he's not regularly coming. Don't worry about that. Even once he comes, he pays obeisance to Lord Krishna. He gets immense benefit. His devotional service is already started. One namaskar he has done, he is already following the instruction of Krishna. That will help him to do more and more namaskara to Krishna. And when he does more and more namaskara for Lord Krishna, it will help him to do satatam kirtayanto mam yatantascha drudavrata. Like that it will go. So even that is why Krishna says, Swalpamapyasya dharmasya trayate mahato bhayat. Even a little dharma for Lord Krishna, devotion you do, trayate mahato bhayat. It will protect us from big, big dangers. So never hesitate to give Krishna consciousness to anybody, however small it may be. Don't worry. Even you go somebody, you got one khaja packet or prasada packet you got, go and little share with somebody. The mercy will not become half. Oh, I'm giving half khaja to him, half punya only I will get, half will get. No, it will get doubled. In fact, it will not only get doubled and divided, you will get even more special mercy from Krishna having given to others. So Krishna's mercy has to be shared in this way. Since this shloka is also very important, we will try to chant this shloka. Satatam kirtayanto ma Satatam kirtayanto ma yatantascha drudavrataah yatantascha drudavrataah namasyantascha mam bhaktya namasyantascha mam bhaktya nitya yukta upasate nitya yukta upasate satatam kirtayanto ma yatantascha drudavrataah namasyantascha mam bhaktya nitya yukta upasate. Translation: always chanting my glories, endeavoring with great determination, bowing down before me, these great souls perpetually worship me with devotion. So Krishna is telling these souls means to the previous shloka, Mahatmanas to Mahampata, somebody who is working under the Daivi Prakriti, working under the instruction of Lord Krishna or his devotee. So he is, Krishna says, he worships me perpetually. And then in the 15th shloka onwards, different kind of jnanis or different kind of people who worship me, Krishna explains here. Krishna has told about the best of his devotees, Mahatmas, how they worship me or engage in the devotional service is explained in the 14th and 13th and 14th shloka. 15th shloka, Krishna is telling there are other categories of people also who come to me. Just like in the 7th chapter also we learnt 4 kinds of people who go to Krishna and 4 kinds of people who don't go to Krishna. Who are those 4 people who go to Krishna? Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, 7th chapter. Chaturvida bhajante mam jana sukritina arjuna arto artharthi jignasu jnani cha bharatarshabha. Somebody who is very inquisitive about spiritual knowledge, somebody who is in distress, yet he is a devotee of Krishna, somebody who wants to become prosperous in life, and at last somebody who wants to genuinely come to Krishna. These 4 kind of people come to me, Krishna says. Provided if they are sukritinaha, if they are who have done punya jivis, they come to me. 4 kinds of people doesn't come to me, Krishna says. Who are they? He says, Maya Partagnana. What is that? Very nicely Krishna says that Naradhama and Namam dushkritino moda prapadyante naradhama maya partagnana asurim bhavamashita. 4 kinds of people don't come. Who are they? Somebody who is a mudha, somebody who is a naradhama, somebody who is a maya pratagnana, somebody is asura bhavam. So now, apart from these 4 categories who doesn't come to me, there are another 3 category of people who come to me. Among 4 categories I explained them. Another 3 category are there who are relatively lower than the 4 category, broad category which I mentioned. Who are those? Prabhupada explains nicely in the purport by numbering them. First is, he who worships himself as one with the Supreme. There are some people who think that Supreme Lord is there, I am there. After purifying myself, I will also become one with the Supreme. They are called impersonalists. So they are also in a way spiritualists because they have admitted there is somebody Supreme and I have to become one with them. And then there are people, he who concords some form of the Supreme Lord and worships that. There are some people, they think some other form, like if you go to tribes and all, they think the mountain is a Supreme Lord, something huge, and they start worshipping the mountain. They worship sun and all. So since they are also accepting something as superior, so they are also in the spiritual path, but their understanding is not clear. And there are some people who accepts the universal form, Vishwarupa of the Supreme Lord as the Supreme. So they are another category of people. So they also come to me, Krishna says. And then Krishna says, in the 16th verse onwards, once again, that how I am the integral part of everything that is there in the world. Let us say there are many people who do sacrifice. Everything in the sacrifice, Krishna says, is me. He says, Aham kratur, aham yajnaha, sudaham aham aushadam, mantroham aham evajam, aham agnir aham utham. So Krishna says that in the yajna, whatever is done, either the person who is chanting the mantras, it is me. The oblations you are putting, it is me, because the samagri, what we require for chanting, who is the supplier? Panchabhuta is coming from whom? Lord Krishna only. So that is why it is its representation. The people who are chanting jivas, we are also part and parcel of Krishna. To chant ability, who has given? Once again Krishna only. So in this way Krishna is telling, I am all that. And then Krishna is claiming in the 17th shloka, Pitahamasya jagato mata data pitamaha Vedyam pavitram omkara riksama yajurya vacha. I am the father, Krishna is telling. Other place also Krishna claimed, Aham bija pradha pita. We learned that how Krishna, being the Purusha or the father, impregnates the jiva in this material world. So his father. He is mother also. Because whatever the Prakriti is doing, all that energy is given by whom? Krishna himself. Once again, he is mother. And Mata, then Grandshire. Grandshire also is Krishna only. Why? Because the cause for me is my parents. The cause for them is their parents. If you go cause for everybody, finally you go to whom? Lord Krishna. So that's why I am a grandchild also. So in this way, and Krishna also says, I am the purifier and the syllable Om as well. Purifier in the sense, we come with certain sins in this world. We become purified only when we come in touch with Krishna. That is why it is told, Krishna Surya Sama Maya Hoy Andakar. Yahan Krishna Nahi Mayar Adhikar. That means wherever Krishna Surya Sama, Krishna is like a Surya. Wherever Surya is there, darkness can come there? No, right? So similarly, Krishna Surya Sama, Maya is like a darkness which puts us in darkness. Just like in darkness we cannot see anything, we also under Maya cannot see who am I, cannot see who is the Supreme Lord, cannot see how is Lord behind everything. Yahan Krishna, wherever Krishna is there, Nait Mayar Adhikar, there Maya has no Adhikara. As much as wherever sun is there, darkness cannot come. If you keep Krishna with you, the Maya cannot cover your knowledge. Such a powerful and simple formula, no? If you want to be in full knowledge, if you want to pursue Krishna everywhere, you just keep Krishna with you. Ajnana, Maya cannot touch you. Maya cannot come anywhere near to you. You can be completely protected by the illusion that is created by the Maya in this world. Just what you have to do is keep Krishna in this with you always. That is why one of the great acharyas have told, Shastras also say this, it is told in the Padma Purana, that, what is that? Satatam smartavyaha Vishnuho Vismartavyam na jatu chet. Etayoreva kinkaraha sarva nisheda eva syat etayoreva kinkaraha. The meaning is, the Vedic knowledge we call it's very broad, right? Swamiji, I'm Rug, Sama, Yajur, everything is there. To understand, do we have to read all the Vedas? Not required. Just like this is an anecdote. Once upon a time there was a king, and this king wanted to understand the Vedic knowledge, understand everything, because to achieve perfection he knew that we have to understand Vedas. But king, as we know, is always busy with his regular duties of management and looking into problems, days, everything. So he's not able to read the Vedas. But he became once very desperate and calls all his panditas, ministers, everybody. And he says, I want to read the Vedas, I don't have time. So read all the Vedas, compile them in one book and bring it to me. All the panditas they discuss everything, and finally they compile and bring one big book and present it to the king. King is seeing this, he says to all this thing, when I read the first page, I am going to second page, what is there in first page I am forgetting. You take this back and make a small booklet and bring. And then they go, they discuss everything, and once again they make a small booklet and they bring. And when he starts reading, the moment he reads first paragraph, goes to second paragraph, he forgets what is there in first paragraph. So he once again says, no, this is also not enough. You compress this even more, bring the essence in one A4 sheet. Once again, all the panditas go, they go discuss everything, and finally they bring one A4 sheet, give to the king. Then king, once again he reads, and he gives this back. No, I cannot. By the time I read the first sentence and go to second sentence, I forget what is in first sentence. So you compress this and bring only one sentence, the essence of all the Vedas. So they all go and they compress, and the essence of all that is this shloka. Smartavyaha satatam Vishnuhu Vismartavyam na jatu chet. Always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna. So when we follow this formula, automatically we will be able to see Krishna everywhere, achieving that devotion, coming under the Yoga Maya, not be under illusion, can easily be achieved. That is what Krishna told, Satatam Kirtayanto Mam. So in this way, the shloka through 16 till we can only see Krishna telling about his majestic nature. Till the shloka 18, Krishna tells about his majestic nature. I am the goal, Gatir. If you read all the Vedas, finally goal is to what? Achieve what? Ante Narayana Smriti, we say, finally we have to achieve Krishna. So Krishna is the goal. Bharta, sustainer, the master, the witness. In this way, wonderfully Krishna is explained. I strongly recommend you, please go and read each one of them. How what Krishna says, Gati means, what is the meaning of that? Why Krishna says Bharta, Prabhu, Sakshi. Sakshi means witness. Now Krishna witnesses all our activities. How he witnesses? Krishna is there as Surya. It is one eye representation. Moon is one more eye. And Krishna is present in every atom. In fact, Krishna is present within our own heart. So we can never escape Krishna in any walk of our life or any of our activities. So Krishna says as Sakshi. So in this way, wonderfully Krishna is explained, and Prabhupada gives an elaboration for each one of them, how Krishna is saying this. And then in the shloka 20, Krishna says about, there are some people who, although may be reading the Vedas, but still they have not arrived to the conclusion of worshipping Lord Krishna. Now you would have heard this North India, it's very popular, Trivedi they call him as. Supposed to be knower of all the three Vedas. Of course, it has only become nowadays a surname than actually what he is, right? But he is supposed to know the three Vedas. But and then actually the goal of all these three Vedas or four Vedas, what we are saying, there are Chaturvedis also and three Vedis. So Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, among all the Vedas, I am to be known. Vedaham samititani, Krishna says, from all by reading all the Vedas, I am to be known. But there are people even who would have read Vedas, if you ask them what is the aim of the Veda, they will not be able to tell. I remember we had one big conference of all the Sanskrit Pandits from all over India, held in our ISKCON Bangalore, in our open air theatre. And I was very curious, okay, let us see, these people would have read Vedas, they would have definitely read Gita and Bhagavad also. Let us see how much is their understanding about ultimate, Krishna is the ultimate cause of everything. I went and heard so many of them, believe it or not, they are only telling the grammatical jugglery of, if you use this word, this has a meaning, this meaning it gives, you use this, because Sanskrit single word have multiple meanings. If you take in this context, this is what it means. None of them, even 1% told that this is what Krishna is meaning, or this is the aim of all these Vedas is Krishna. Not even a single person told. So Krishna cannot be understood just by erudite scholarship. He can be understood only by devotion and love. So the whole essence of the Vedas is lost. But there are people who may not be great scholars, but if they know this essence of Vedas is to serve Lord Krishna, to engage in his service, to do Satatam Kirtan, to do the Kirtana of him, to engage in this thing, when we understand, he is betterly situated. Just like, let us say, one of the Prabhuji was telling me that he had gone to a big conference somewhere in London, and they had given it was some world religion conference or something. They were given in one 5-star hotel stay there, and suddenly the siren came off. Fire, all of you, please escape from there, escape from there. And everybody is coming, knocking the door to make them empty from there. And then our Prabhuji, he just wanted to go out from there. So every door they put the emergency exit. So he saw what are the exit there. And seeing that route, they tell don't use the lift in case of emergency. He came to the staircase. They are all made to assemble in one place. They have to come in an outside area. And after doing all that, they came and assembled. So there is no fire, anything. They told, no, it is a rehearsal we do once in a while. So now imagine if there was a real fire and you want to go out and you are seeing the map, and when you are seeing the map, you start analyzing They have put the emergency exit like this. The arrow mark is in blue. Actually, should be in red, right? They should have highlighted in the red. And this spelling of exit is wrong here. Is it a time to analyze all that? No. You have to just see where you have to get out from there. Similarly, we are also stuck in this material world. Somehow or other, we should go out of this material world. It is not that this meaning of the shloka, if you use this Sanskrit word, this meaning it gives, this meaning. Sir, the aim of the Vedas is to understand Krishna, surrender to Him and serve Him. That is the aim. Understand the essence, serve Krishna and go back home. So that should be done. So unfortunately, many people who so-called scholars are also derailing the innocent people. So this is what, and then these people, they get carried away by the flowery language of the Vedas. Means Vedas offer certain rewards. You do punya like this, you go to Sarkaloka, you can be very happy there, you can enjoy this you do. So these people get carried away by those kind of enjoyments. And by that what they get? They get only a flickering happiness, because Kshine Punye Martya Lokam Vishanti. The 21st sloka is told. Because by doing punya they have gone there. Once their punya is over, bank balance is over, once again they come back to this Martya Loka, in this Bhuloka, they will come back. But Krishna says in the next sloka, somebody who worships me with devotion, meditating upon me, he says, Yoga Kshemam Vahamyaham. Yoga means to protect what I have. Kshema means to supply what I lack. So Krishna gives both for his devotees. And after that, Krishna also says that people who are worshipping other devatas, generally we take them as spirituality, people who are worshipping the devatas, they are actually worshipping Krishna himself, but avidhi purvakam. Just like you want to, let us say, municipality corporation. You can go and you can follow the law set up by their commissioner has set up certain things. You follow according to that law, your work will happen. But sometimes what we will do, we go, don't do according to the law, we give some money under the table. Correct? So that our work will happen. Similarly, worshipping devatas is like that. Actual person is Lord Krishna who is giving everything. But we go to other devatas, mujhko ye de do, mujhko o de do, ye de ho de, ye de hi de, bhaktas they are called as. So actually they are seeking it from Krishna only, but they are doing not in the right way of by surrendering to Krishna and by worshipping him, but they are worshipping the devatas, Krishna says. It's not the right method. Then Krishna also says, so these people who do certain sacrifices for different devatas, actually the enjoyer of all those yagnas are me only. It is meant for me only, Krishna says. And those who do not recognize my transcendental nature will fall down. So people, even though they may be doing so-called spiritual activities, you would have seen many people organizing so many homas, they do so many rituals, public events, so-called spiritualities, spiritual events. But if they don't know, ultimate aim of this is to, Krishna has to enjoy this, once they will fall down from their so-called spiritual path. Because they are not following the vidhi purvaka, they are following the avidhi purvakam. And then what is the destination of such people? Yanti deva vratan devan pitrnyanti pitrrataha bhutani yanti bhuteja madhyajinopi yanti mam. If you worship certain devata, you go to that devata loka. There is Surya loka, you worship Surya, you will go to him. There is Indra loka, Chandra loka. Every devatas have their loka, you will go there. And if there are some people who worship their pitras, forefathers. If you worship them, you will go to their loka. And there are some people who worship certain ghosts and spirit. You will go to their lokas. But Krishna says, somebody who worships me will come to my Vaikuntha loka. So then Swamiji, what is the difference? Everybody goes to one loka, I go to Surya loka. What is the problem? I will go to Sarga loka. Why have to go to Krishna loka only? The significance of going to Vaikuntha loka is, once you go there, the problems of this world doesn't exist there. Although there are many, many problems in this world, I have told this earlier also. There are 4 major problems in this world. Which are those? Okay, let me put up in this way. Tell me 4 problems in this world which nobody can escape. That problem is common to everybody and there is no solution to those 4 problems. Yeah, one by one. Yeah. So, Mrityu. Let us start with Mrityu. People can understand easily. There is no solution to that at all, right? You may say there are many other solutions, problems, Swamiji, like what is that nowadays? Global warming solution problem is there. It is there for everyone. Of course, it is true for the people of this earth. This problem may not be there in another planet. Like that, whatever problem you tell, drought or this or epidemic or anything, it's only limited, correct? But Mrityu is there for everybody. Great people did big tapasyas to become death free. Can you name some people? Hiranyakashipu, he meditated for millions of years. In fact, he got the vara also that I'll not die in the sky, I'll not on the earth day and night by human beings or by animal or by any weapon inside the house, outside the house. So many criteria he told. Still one day Narsimha they came and killed him, correct? Even Ravana, he wanted to put the staircase to the Sargaloka. Why you people have to do tapas? Why you have to struggle so hard? I will make staircase. I will make a lift for you all go. So like this, so many people wanted to become deathless. In fact, Ravana once attacked Yamaloka only. He wanted to kill Yamaraj. So if Yamaloka itself is conquered, there are no Yamadutas, Yamaraj, who will award death to us? So all these trying people have done. But still all of them finally have succumb to the death. Mrityu sarva haraschaham. Krishna says, people who doesn't surrender to me, I go to them in the form of Mrityu, harascham, take away everything. So nobody are able to escape. Okay, one problem is over. Another problem. Disease, vyadhi. Nobody escaped disease, right? You may say, Swamiji, I have never got disease. At least you would have got some cold in your life. You would have sneezed once in a while. No, scientists are figuring out now you cannot become diseased. Okay, earlier you can see the disease how they started earlier. Plague was there, so many people died. Then cancer came, some medicines are there, but still today so many cancers have no solution. Then AIDS came, then H1N1 came, don't know H2N2 when it will come. So you may have particular disease, you may have a solution. But disease as a whole, do you have a solution? I take one pill, I'll become diseaseless. It's not there. So then, jara, old age, there is no solution to this. Although you may do so much of makeup and so many other things you do, finally once again old age will catch up. Then Janma is also a trouble. How is it Janma is trouble, Swamiji? Every year on my birthday I cut the cake, we do party, everything. How do you say that as a trouble or a misery? Yes, it is also a trouble because before our birth, we were there in the womb of the mother. And imagine we were totally encircled with mucus and all such kind of things. And we were there in that condition for 9 months. And it is told that the skin of the child is so tender that when the microbes and this thing bites, the child goes constantly many times under coma. It goes unconscious due to that pain. So we all have undergone this. Because I don't remember this doesn't mean that I have not undergone. And nobody can escape this. That is why we call it as a trouble. So but when you go to Vaikuntha Loka, forget about this chota mota, global warming, ativrushti, anavrushti. Nowadays you saw what happened in Wayanad. So much. All this problem is not there in Vaikuntha Loka. Anandamayo abhyasat. You are always under happiness and enjoyment with Krishna. So that is why we should go to Vaikuntha Loka. That is why Krishna is giving invitation. You are all my part and parcel, supposed to enjoy me within spiritual world. Why you are rotting in this material world? Please come. Like that he is telling. And then Krishna is telling, okay, Krishna gave the invitation to come to me. How to come there? He has already explained the symptom of people who go to Krishna. Satatam kirtayanto ma mitantascha drudavrataha manmana bhava. That he will tell further. Krishna says, practically what I can do now? He tells in the sloka 26, Patram pushpam palam toyam yomi bhaktya prayachati tadaham bhaktya upartam asnapi prayatatmanaha. Krishna is telling only 4 things you do, very simple. Patram, offer me some leaf. Even poor man can do this, right? You offer some tulsi leaf or any leaf to Krishna. Krishna says, I will accept. Patram, pushpam, flower. Anyone flower you offer to Krishna, he accepts. It's not that you have to go to Himalaya and worship him in Lord of elaborate, nothing required. Toyam, water. Water, anybody have access. You can offer little water to Krishna. Patram, pushpam, phalam. Especially Ganga water you offer, Krishna will be more happy. Toyam, pushpam, phalam. Fruit you offer to Krishna. Krishna says, I will accept, provided you offer it with bhakti. Once again, quality word is patram pushpam palam toyam yome bhaktya prayachati. If you offer it devotion, Krishna says, I accept that. And then finally gives one more final summary about how to get him. Yat karoshi yat asnasi yat josi dadasi yat tapasasi kaunteya tat kurusha madarpanam. Krishna says, whatever you do, whatever you eat, whatever you offer, whatever you give away in charity, whatever austerities you perform, you should do it as an offering to me, Krishna says. Tat kurusha madarpanam. Any activity you are doing, like each one of us, in order to maintain our body, we have to do some or the other work. So when you do your work, you get certain earning by which you eat. So that eating you offer to me and eat, Krishna says. And whatever you eat, and whatever you give away in charity, Krishna says, whatever you earn, apart from maintaining your body and your family, whatever excess you have, you should give away to the Krishna consciousness movement to spread Krishna consciousness. Prabhupada says this in the purport. And whatever austerities we do, you perform as an offering to me. Like, for example, you want to take up any austerity, don't create your own austerity. Acharyas have already told. On Ekadashi day, you do upavasa, it's austerity, very dear to Lord Krishna. Now, Janmashtami is coming up. We are all geared up to celebrate the birthday of Lord Krishna. And on that day, you do upavas. Krishna becomes very happy. And so in this way, whatever you give in charity, you give to this thing, and whatever you do, basically Krishna says, you do it as an offering to me. Then Krishna says, you will actually come to me. So by doing that, Krishna says, Shubha Shubha Falaireva Mokshashe Karma Bandhanaha. By doing everything as an offering to me, you become free from Ashubha and Shubha both. Because Shubha or Abhushubha, both of them will lead to Bandhana in this world. Ashubha because it will lead to miseries. Shubha, even you do Punya Karyas also, it will entangle. If I give 10 rupees to a beggar in this life as a charity, I have to take birth to receive the 10 rupees in next life and take it from him. Is it a good deal? Better not, no? So, but if you do it as an offering to Lord Krishna, we will not become entangled by the karma. So in this way, Krishna says in the 28th sloka that you become free from all the karma. And in 29th sloka, Krishna says, Samoham sarva bhuteshu. I am equal to everybody. Then somebody may ask a question, if Krishna is equal to everyone because he is our father. So if Krishna is equal to everyone, then why he does partiality? My devotee is very dear to me, I will give protection to him, all this. Is it not favoritism? No, it is not favoritism, because although the king may take care of all the subjects in the kingdom, he is a father figure for them, but he will take special care of his family. He may not ask everybody in the kingdom, have you eaten or not? He may make some systems for everybody's eating. But his own son, he may personally ask, hey, have you had your food? Like that. Similarly, somebody who is a devotee, for everybody's living, Krishna is organized through Prakriti, everything. But for somebody who is devotees, Yoga Kshemam Vahamyam, Krishna personally takes care of them. So there is no partiality in this. It is a reciprocation of Lord Krishna. And Krishna is, anybody can come for this. That Krishna says in the further slokas, anybody can surrender to Krishna and become equally dear to Krishna. It is not that he is only liking certain class of people, he doesn't like anybody. No, everybody can become equally. And then Krishna says, okay, I want to worship Krishna, but I am very sinful. How will I be able to worship Krishna? Krishna says in sloka 30 and 31st, the whole science about How if we are engaged in the service of Lord Krishna, no matter whatever abominable activities we would have done in our past life, still somebody has taken up to Krishna consciousness, we should consider him as a saintly person. How to consider somebody as a saintly person if he has done abominable activities? The example is, just like you have a fan here, it is revolving. After you switch off a fan also, it will suddenly stop like this? No. It will revolve for some time, slowly, slowly it will stop. Similarly, somebody who has taken up to the process of Krishna consciousness, the switch off his sinful activity is being stopped. But still you may see sometime they are doing some wrong things. Actually, it is the momentum that was already there which is getting cleared. We should know somebody is engaged in service of Krishna, slowly it will stop one day. That assurity Krishna gives in the 31st sloka. Kshipram bhavati dharmatma shashvachantim nigachati kaunteya pratijanihi name bhakta pranashyati. It's a wonderful sloka Krishna is telling. He is assuring, my devotees will never perish. Because Kshipram Bhavati Dharmatma, such a person who has taken out a spiritual path, quickly he will purify himself. Whatever bad things, habits he had, he will give away. And he will take to this completely spiritual path. And finally, Shashwat Chantim Nigachati, he will get the eternal peace. That is why, Arjuna, you declare to the whole world, Name Bhakta Pranashati, my devotees will never perish. Why he is telling Arjuna to you declare Arjuna? Krishna himself would have proclaimed, no. As he has proclaimed earlier, Bhoktaram, Yagnatapasam, Sarvaloka Maheshwaram, I am the Bhoktar, I am the owner. As he told for himself, he would have told, I will take care of my devotees. Why is he telling, Kaunteya Pratijani, you tell Arjuna, Name Bhakta Pranashyati? Because if Krishna promises something, he may break his own promise for the sake of his devotees. Any examples? Krishna broke his own promise. In the Kurukshetra war, he had told, I will not lift the weapon. But in order to protect his devotee Arjuna, he lifted the weapon. So Krishna may promise, but the sake of his devotees, he may break all the promise, protocol, everything. Correct? But when his devotee promises, Krishna will keep up those words at any cost. That's why Arjuna, you declare. Just like Krishna wanted to protect Prahlada. But at the same time, Hiranyakashipu want to kill Prahlada. And he has taken so many boons from Brahma. Brahma is also once again a pure devotee of Lord Krishna. So Krishna had to honor the boon given by Brahma, at the same time protect his devotees. For the sake of his devotees, Krishna took the form of Narsimha, keeping all the criteria intact, whatever the boon he has asked, he killed and protected his devotee. So for the sake of his devotees, Krishna is ready to do anything. So that's why he is telling Arjuna to declare. So then Krishna says, if even though they are Papa Yonayaha, even though if they are Shudras, Chandalas, if they take up to spiritual path, they can come to me. So this is a wonderful verse Krishna is telling. Anybody can go to Krishna. So Krishna is beyond all the Varna, Ashramas, somebody's even background. Krishna will forget everything. Today you want to go and get one job, let us say it's a manager job, they do something called history study of yours. Which company you are working, they get the opinion of the people, what kind of person. Krishna doesn't do any background study. You have come today surrendering to me. Whatever baggage you have, forget it. What steps you are taking today, I will see that. See, so merciful is Krishna. Krishna doesn't come with any baggage. He doesn't see our baggage also. He gives such a wonderful opportunity for all of us. Then in the 33rd sloka, Krishna says, then what to speak of Brahmanas and other great devotees of mine who have come to me? They will definitely achieve me by following the path of Krishna consciousness. And in the 34th verse, Krishna gives the ultimate method how to achieve him. Because whenever you say something, ultimately you have to summarize, no? So this is the summary Krishna is telling. What he is telling is, always, we will chant this shloka, very nice shloka. This is, Manmana bhava mad bhakto, Manmana bhava mad bhakto, Madhyaji mam namaskuru, Madhyaji mam namaskuru, Mame Vaishasi Yuktaivam. Mame Vaishasi Yuktaivam. Atmanam Matparayanaha. Atmanam Matparayanaha. Manmana Bhava Madbhakto. Madhyaji Mam Namaskuru. Mame Vaishasi Yuktaivam. Atmanam Matparayanaha. Translation: engage your mind, always thinking of me. Mind's nature is to always keep something in the mind and always keep thinking. If nothing is to think about the day's work, we pick up some problem and we start thinking. Like householders, they don't have any work to think about. They switch on the TV serial, and in that serial, you only see somebody doing some politics of family or this and that. Put in your mind, and you start. Some people cry also. Other day I had gone to an house, one old Dadima was sitting and he was crying. I asked what happened. See, this daughter-in-law is torturing mother-in-law so much. So she has no trouble in her own life. She is taking so much trouble from the virtual world and putting in her world. So better Krishna says, put me in your mind always. Man mana bhava madbhakto, become my devotee. We are devotee of somebody or the other, some film star, some celebrity. We have somebody to look upon, right? Krishna is telling you, make me as the role model. Madbhakta, become my devotee. Madhyaji, worship me. Mam namaskuru, pay your obeisance to me. By this, Krishna says, you will surely come to me. Krishna is giving the complete formula, complete blueprint, how we can actually achieve that eternal peace, how we can go back to Krishna. So I recommend all of you go back once again, read these shlokas of Bhagavad Gita with the Prabhupada purport, become very thorough in them. By becoming thorough in this knowledge, you become inspired to go back to Krishna, and then with determination you can practice Krishna consciousness. You will have full faith.